Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. My name is Dave and today we're talking about Epiphone and giving them some ideas for what they might get up to in 2023. I got 5 guitars that I'd love to see them put out. Let's see what you think of them. Yes folks, welcome to the channel. We are talking about Epiphone and 2023. I'd like to say hello to all of the people who are from Epiphone who are watching this video, because I know you all check in from time to time. And Cesar, maybe you should do all 5 of these. All right, buddy. Now, you guys know I'm a big fan of Epiphone. I love what they're doing with the whole Inspired by Gibson range. I think it's just getting a little bit stale, let's say. There hasn't been any big innovations or changes or anything happening with the standard Epiphone line in about 3 years. So it's about time they change that. So I've got some ideas for guitars that I'd like to see reintroduced. One I mentioned last year in particular. In fact, I think 2 of them I mentioned last year. But Epiphone, you're listening now, so maybe we can force some of these ideas into their minds. So I'm going to start off with a vintage Epiphone inspired idea. I really like this one. This is the Epiphone Spirit 2. Now this was only made between 1982 and 1983. There was 2 different variations of this, actually 3. So you had a Japanese made version and you had a USA made version of this very same guitar with Epiphone. It was all Epiphones, and there was Gibson Spirit 2s as well. Less of those were made, but the Epiphone USA ones were quite popular. They came in an Epiphone chainsaw case, something like what we've recently seen reissued with the Adam Jones Art Collection guitars. So pretty cool that they brought that back. Let's bring back the Spirit 2 as well. I think it's a really nice, interesting guitar. Some of my favorite things about it: you get the Epiphone chainsaw case, as I mentioned. Tim Shaw pickups were in these guitars. Very cool indeed. And you got the Gibson style open book headstock. Now, don't get me wrong, I love what Epiphone did when they changed to the Kalamazoo headstock, which is the official title name of that type of headstock they use now. But I just think if they're going to do special editions, it makes them a little bit more special if they put that Gibson open book headstock on the guitars, like a lot of the Japanese made guitars had in previous years. These guitars came in only 3 colors. You had Alpine White, Ebony, and Vintage Sunburst. It's time for a refresh, because it's not 1982 or 1983 anymore. So we could see some very cool colors being brought to this range if they brought back the Spirit 2. So I think that'd be a really cool thing for them to do in 2023 as like a 150th anniversary celebration. I'm going to start giving some pricing ideas that I would like to see these at, because I reckon this would be a limited special edition thing. $9.99. Including the chainsaw case, the cool guitar. I mean, you're not going to put Tim Shaw pickups in it, but put some cool pickups in it as well. Custom Pro Bookers. Wow. I just put it out there. That's the 150th anniversary celebration. I think that would be cool. Rolling on. Now this guitar, the next on the list, is the first Les Paul on the list. It's not the last one, but it's the first one. And I've been saying Epiphone need to re-release this guitar for years. The last time they brought this guitar to market was 2001, which is 22 flipping years ago. That is way too long for this guitar not to be on the market. It is, of course, the Les Paul Deluxe. The mini humbuckers and the sexiness of the Les Paul Deluxe. What is going on? Because there's been plenty of Gibson Les Paul Deluxes in that time. There's just not been any Epiphones. So those of us who don't want to spend Gibson money are just screwed. And I don't think that's right, because mini humbuckers are a whole different thing, and I think people need to experience them. I'm a big fan of the Les Paul Deluxe. I think people would jump all over these. And I got some ideas, because listen to this. The last time Epiphone released Les Paul Deluxes, what they had in terms of colors was interesting. So you had baby blue sparkle, ebony sparkle, gold sparkle, and red sparkle. Now, I'm just going to throw it out there. It seems like the Les Paul Deluxe would fit perfectly in the Epiphone Muse series that we currently have. You got all those nice bright colors, the shininess of it, the sparkle even. You don't currently have a mini humbucker version. You could throw P90s in as well. If you just wanted to mix it up a little bit, it'd be very cool to add to that range. And I'm going to throw an extra bone out there as well. Epiphone, you're out there, throw these in a replica of the 2015 Gibson TKL cases, the gold one, the spaceshipy things. Those were fantastic. Put Les Paul Deluxes in those, or whatever Muse kind of shaped guitars in there. That would be absolutely flipping brilliant. Charge $7.99 for them. You'd be selling them all day, every day. It'd be great. So yeah, that's what I think should be guitar number 2. Now, guitar number 3 is something that I think we've been waiting for a long. I've been waiting for a long time. So it's another Les Paul, and I've been waiting since 2011. Now, if you're good at math, you'll know that that's 12 years ago I've been waiting for this guitar to come out. It's the Les Paul Ultra 4, because the Les Paul Ultra 3 came out in 2011, and I was like, could buy one of those, but then the 4 is going to come out, isn't it? Now, the Ultra 3 was probably a little bit ahead of its time back in 2011, because the guitar world wasn't ready for everything it had. So you had 2 output jacks. One of them was for the Nanomag piezo system thing. You could just play that by itself, or you could blend it in with the regular magnetic pickups and just, you know, have a stereo kind of setup, I believe. Very cool indeed. You could also stick a USB. Was it USB 1 or A or something? You could have a 2011 USB stuck into the guitar, connected to your computer, do all kinds of things with it. It didn't really work in that way, but it showed promising signs for the future. It's 12 years later, we've got USB-C and things work a lot better. So I think they could create some very interesting things to do with an Ultra 4. So definitely would love to see them bring out something like that. Another thing that they had in the Ultra 3 was a built-in auto tuner. Now, don't confuse that. It was not a robo tuner or anything like that. It was just on top of the, I believe, the bridge humbucker, you had a tuner kind of scale. You could it'd show you how far out of tune you were. So that was really nice, especially if you're a beginner. I think Ultra 4s would go absolutely gangbusters. So Epiphone, if you're out there, why not you just put these out at $6.99? I think they'd be really good. I think they'd be really good. So yeah, let's get on that one. Now, before we get to guitar number 4, just want to remind you that we are doing some very cool stuff on this channel right here. We do 3 Chord Dave live every Saturday. You join us at 10 p.m. Irish time. Now, whatever time that is in the world where you are, all you got to do is hit the subscribe button and the notification bell and choose all notifications. That way, when we go live, doesn't matter what time it is where you are, you get a notification and you can come join us. Some very cool people come and join us in that 2-hour session that we do live on a Saturday. It's always a lot of fun, so we'd love to see you there. Please come and join us. And another thing, there's a link for the Patreon for this channel, to support the channel, in the description below. If you click that, you'll get some very cool stuff like 24 hours early access at a minimum to all the videos that go up on the channel. Plus, Patreon exclusive content starts next week. So if you want to get in on that early, you want to sign up for Patreon right now, and I will love you forever. Thanks. Anyway, let's talk about guitar number 4. It is something that I've been sadly missing from my collection, something I want desperately badly, and it is an Epiphone Les Paul ES, or an ES Les Paul. I think they're cool, and they were available until fairly recently. I think 2019 was when they stopped being made. You know, I think the new ownership might have been like, nah, we're not making those for a bit. Bring them back, and you know, just do it. Just bring them back, because there's a market for them. People will dig that, because it's a way of getting a light Les Paul, something that's not going to weigh 10 billion pounds. Of course, not everyone worries about it. Les Paul sells perfectly well. But I think the ES Les Pauls are great. I would very much welcome them to come back into the market. So, Epiphone, if you're out there and you're listening, and you should be listening, give us one of those and price it at $8.99, because it does take a little bit more ingenuity to get an ES guitar built. So yeah, do that. Do properly, you know, maple, poplar maple, and all that sort of stuff. That'd be super cool. So let's do that. And guitar number 5, guys, is very special. It is the 3 Chord Dave. The V CMT Flying V, something like that is the official title. Do it from Epiphone, because yeah, look, it'd be great if Gibson did it, but I think Epiphone would be even better, because more people would be able to get their hands on this guitar. Now, if you're new to the channel or you haven't seen my Flying V, you're gonna be like why does that guy have such a cool flying V? But I do, there you go. It's from 1982. It's vintage cherry sunburst. It looks amazing. It's got an ebony fretboard. It's got a curly maple top, which is the CMT part. It's got a mahogany body and a 3-piece flame maple neck, which is to die for and plays absolutely wonderfully. It's honestly one of my favorite guitars ever. I just love it. It's fantastic. It's got those flippy out tuner things, windy ones that, you know, other guitar YouTubers think are great. And it's got some of those original Dirty Fingers pickups from the 80s that are phenomenal. And I can't recommend it highly enough. So I think Epiphone should take my guitar, they should scan it, they should act very carefully and, you know, not damage it at all, and then put it out on the market so that everybody can have a cool CMT, the V from Epiphone. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing, and I think they should do it. Now, I am recommending that they price this, because it's a special limited 3-chord Dave edition, at $999, and I'm reckoning they could only make 323 copies of this worldwide. So get your pre-books in right now in the comment section below. Tell me if you would buy one of these. I would. I'd buy 2 of them. But they're very, very cool. I would love to see Epiphone do something similar, like reissue the CMT series. I think they're really cool. And the Norland era guitars, there's some very interesting things that they could draw inspiration from. And that's it, guys. That is my 2023 recommendations for Epiphone. What would you like to see Epiphone do in this year of 23, the 150th anniversary of the Epiphone Musical Instrument Company? I think there's a lot of inspiration to draw from. So Cesar, Epiphone, Gibson, whoever, take this as inspiration and go and run with it. And hopefully you'll give us that Les Paul Deluxe at least. Otherwise, I'll be asking for it next year. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining me. It has been a lot of fun. I'll be back with another guitar-related video very soon, but until then, take care.